Hello, travelers. Welcome to the Copperfoxinn. I am Onog, the half-orc barbarian, and I am joined today by...
Wait a minute.
What?
Tiefling, the rock gnome wizard.
Tiefling the wizard rock gnome. I am Thomas the human barbarian. No, I'm a bard. I'm Thomas the human bard, and I am joined today by...
Onog, the half-orc barbarian.
And we are going through a side quest.
Radiant side quest.
Unearthed Arcana discussion where we talk about the new Unearthed Arcana that just came out. Class feature adjustments for every class in D&D. Enhancements, replacements. We got it here. Low prices.
Very low price, very front-loaded. A lot of these abilities.
Very low prices. Great deals. 50% off monk abilities. Today we're talking about the monk and the changes that have been made to it. So let's start with its first ability. Monk weapons. First level monk feature enhances martial arts. You can use this feature to define your monk weapons. Rather than using the definition in martial arts, you practice. Look, we've been recording a lot of this. You practice your martial arts with specially chosen weapons, which become monk weapons for you. You can choose a number of weapons to be your monk weapons, equal to 5 plus your wisdom modifier, minimum of 5 weapons. The chosen weapons must each meet the following criteria. The weapon must be a simple or martial weapon. You must be proficient with the weapon. The weapon must lack these properties: heavy, special, or two-handed.
What?
Yeah.
What is this even for?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It is kind of bonkers.
I'm trying to understand why this is written down, because I can understand, as an enhancement, it's you can now have access to these martial weapons, but I don't understand why it's including... Is this it says it's an enhancement to martial arts, not a replacement? So it's
Yeah. You can still just use your fists.
All simple weapons are already monk weapons. Why is it worded like this? I don't understand. You can already use monk weapons with your martial arts abilities. I don't... What is the point of this block of text other than to, you can now use a longsword?
Let me double check. Is it just some simple weapons, or is it
No,
all?
All simple weapons are monk weapons, ranged and melee included. It's just some weapons, or some abilities only work on melee weapons specifically. So it's all simple weapons, if I remember correctly, are monk weapons. And
Short sword and any simple melee weapons that don't have the two-handed or heavy property. Melee.
Yeah.
You could do ranged.
But that's the kind... I guess that's what this is for, is that it's
I guess.
A ranged weapon, but none of the abilities synergize with ranged weapons.
No, they don't.
That's the reason why I didn't include ranged weapons.
I guess you could have a bow now, huh?
Well, and that's the thing is this is sort of bleeding into Kensei monk.
Yeah, for sure. The Kensei monk, yeah.
You could always just make a bow attack. There's no reason you couldn't.
But now your bow attack can use your martial arts abilities.
What does that mean? Because so many of the martial arts abilities specify it has to be in melee range of you. I don't understand what that means. It's use this feature instead of the martial arts, but then this doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. This is one I'd love to just pick Jeremy Crawford's brain on, just the whole design team, obviously, but and be what was the goal of this? What were you going
it clearly
for?
expands what is considered a monk weapon.
For sure.
But that's and whereas I was happy that every fighter got a battle tactic or a superiority dice, this kind of confuses me. Go ahead. Maybe we're done.
Okay, martial arts. One of the bullets is you can roll a d4 in place of the normal damage of your unarmed strike or a monk weapon.
Right.
This die changes as you gain monk levels, shown in the martial arts column. It goes up from being a d4 all the way up to a d10.
Right.
A d4 is worse than a bow attack, but a d10 is better than a normal bow attack.
Well, right, but that's...
Maybe it
It's mildly better, and that's only at like high levels of play. Like by then you're attacking with magical bows anyways, kind of a thing.
Okay, wait. Maybe I figured it out. When you use an attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon on your turn, you can make an unarmed strike as a bonus action. So,
Right.
I could, theoretically, if it was a bow now, I could shoot a guy who's not next to me and then kick the guy in the face who is next to me.
So, but then why would you shoot with the bow? Because you were shooting at disadvantage because someone was next to you. It's like one of those things where it's like, why would you want this to apply to a ranged weapon? Like it doesn't actually help you.
You have a good point. That's valid. Yeah, I
mean,
don't know.
Trust me. I've been making wood elf monks since the book was printed. Like they have access to using a longbow because they're proficient in it, and there's no reason that you would want to use any of the martial arts ability if you're shooting someone with a longbow. If they're close enough to use the martial arts abilities, hit them with a stick. Hit them with your short sword, because.
Yep.
If you're shooting someone with a longbow, you're not using martial arts on anyone nearby anyways.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things
weird.
where
it
doesn't make sense that they would do this. Because Kensai get this. They get the expanded weapon list that you can pick, and it's like super cool. And then they also get abilities that can be used at ranged. A normal monk doesn't get abilities that can be used at ranged or at range.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't figure out. If you listeners, if you know a secret,
if we're just being dumb,
that we are
prove
just
us dumb.
somehow completely missing, tell us in the comment section, and we will acknowledge that we were dumb, because currently I'm at a loss.
Wait,
I don't know.
Also, I don't think you can use longbows because they require being two-handed, if I remember correctly. So this
what
whole
about short bow?
Short bows also require two hands to wield, if I remember correctly.
But I don't think they're two-handed weapons. I think they're just.
Let me double check. Or do you have the player's handbook? Look up the weapons.
Yeah, I do. Ranged weapons. Light crossbow. So these are the simple ranged weapons. Mm-hmm. Light crossbow has the two-handed property.
So it cannot be used as a monk weapon.
A dart does not have the two-handed property. A short bow does have the two-handed property. A sling does not have the two-handed property. Okay.
And
interesting. Are there martial weapons that are ranged that don't have the I don't know.
Like hand crossbow and net. So it's like our entire argument doesn't even matter because the weapons we were thinking about.
But net has the special property. I think.
Net is special, so you can't. So this only.
What is
this? Only expands your weapon choices by 3 weapons, and they were already weapons that.
Oh, the blowgun.
Oh, shut up. No one's using a blowgun.
But maybe that's it. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe you can make a sick monk build with a blowgun. If you know how to do that, comment below. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next ability here. Key Fueled Strike. 2nd level monk feature enhances your ki. If you spend 1 ki or more as part of your action on your turn, you can immediately make 1 unarmed strike as a bonus action.
So this is an interesting one because I was trying to figure out what this was referring to before I had kept reading. And so it's because a lot of the key abilities are already being used as bonus actions. So I was trying to figure out what they were talking about. And I think it's just talking about the new key abilities this package is introducing.
Yeah. It also is, I think the Way of the Elements monk.
The Way of the Elements monk can
use
this.
Key abilities to cast spells as actions and then still get a punch afterwards, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think.
And so that is a very nice ability where it's if you, instead of using your action to attack, you used a key ability, or the shadow, the shadow monks, I think, also get spells they can use key points for. So they can pass without trace and then punch someone in the face, kind of a thing, and then run away.
That's my life motto. Pass without trace, punch him in the face.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's one of those things where it just gives you an extra bit of action economy so that you don't feel like you're wasting your turn if you're setting up a key usage.
Yeah, because when you're a monk, what you want to do is be punching people. Sometimes
that's
when you have
that's
to
your
use
bread and butter.
when you have to use your key points to do something that isn't punching, you feel a little robbed that you didn't get to punch. So this is nice. It lets you still get a punch in. Okay, key features. Second level monk feature enhances key. When you gain the key feature at second level, you gain access to the following features. So these are essentially new abilities you can use your key on. The distant eye. When you make a ranged weapon attack, you can spend one key. So when you use your blowgun, you can spend one key point to prevent attacking at long range from imposing disadvantage on your attack rolls until the end of the current turn.
Because you know that discussion we just had about all those ranged weapons you can now use as a monk. All 2 of them. I mean, I guess it's like it lets you do your shuriken build kind of a thing. If for using like dart,
like throwing
knives, or the frickin' blowgun. Like you can use that at a reasonable range.
I'm telling you, secret blowgun
but
is
then
OP.
it's just
secret tech.
But it's literally those are the only. There are only 5 weapons to add, and it's treating it like there are more weapons that could matter, and it's like
maybe they're working on
I'm confused.
a new weapons Unearthed Arcana, where they'll add a bunch of new kinds of weapons.
Maybe
we'll be kicking ourselves.
And that honestly, you bring up a good point. That's probably this was one of those things where it's like the wording is the weapon must be a simple or a martial weapon. That is all weapons unless otherwise informed, And so you're probably right. There's probably going to be Player's Handbook 2 that's going to release a bunch new simple and martial weapons that aren't already included as a monk weapon that this can then be used for, kind of a thing. Because otherwise it's like, oh, you can either pick a weapon that won't work with any of these abilities or a weapon that doesn't actually count.
Or, actually, you know what? I mean, maybe, but it could also be sort of future-proofing for expansions they make.
Maybe.
Because I know that Eberron is set in a vaguely kind of sci-fi magic universe.
They're very
so if they added a new
steampunky kind of
if they added a new weapon that's like a plasma torch or something, it's not already in the player's handbook, so the monk class wouldn't reference it. But this might allow you to take it anyway.
Right.
Because it wasn't invented when the monk class came out. And
I guess.
Specific to that setting. So maybe if they come out with like a lightsaber that you can get in Eberron, that's like a pretty normal weapon, this allows it to be included in those still. So maybe it is more of a, not necessarily like they're coming out with a big new thing of weapons, but it lets them add new weapons without worrying, oh, but then monks can't use it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It could be, but it's still one of those things where it's like, I need to get off this high horse because it's still just baffling to me, like, what even are these for, kind of a thing. I mean, it mildly like gives you more combat. It boosts your combat, action economy because it gives you a bonus attack. And now it like because of the wording, you now can technically use your key feature with a ranged weapon, even though none of your other martial arts abilities will work with a ranged weapon. So why are you attacking with a ranged weapon?
Yeah,
like
no, it's weird.
It's one of those things where it's trying to patch something that wasn't broken.
Yeah.
And unless there's more information, I don't know why this is taking up half a page when like it could have just been like you can do more things with your key.
Yeah. The final bit, quickened healing. As an action, you can spend 2 key points, roll a martial arts die. You regain a number of hit points equal to the number rolled.
It's beautiful.
That's great.
Nice and simple.
See, where's more of that in the monk options, please?
More of that, and then you can punch someone as a bonus action because of this.
And then, that's so good. Yeah.
That's great. That's synergy, baby.
I like the idea that you sort of like center yourself into a yoga pose, and as soon as you finish breathing, you're like, and then you just punch him right in the face. Just sucker punch him. You healed up a couple points. I mean, that's great for monks. You grab a couple of free points in the middle of combat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, and that's like
they're running into melee range of everything you find, so you need a couple of hit points here and there.
Not including this ability, the only way a monk could heal by themselves were Way of the Fist monks, or Way of the Open Hand monks, or whatever they're called. The quote-unquote default monks, and they had an ability, as an action, you can just heal equal to a certain amount times your monk level. And it was just, that was the only way they could heal by themselves. And this is like a cool little, both homage to that, but also utility for other monks to be able to heal a little bit while not stepping on the toes of that super cool monk ability.
It also uses the martial arts die in a
which is very interesting
way. Yeah, for sure. Okay, overall, with the monk, kind of a mixed bag of sort of like, what is this? And then some good stuff that I really like and would definitely add to any game.
I think you're right. This is just kind of like this is a software patch for an update that we don't know is coming yet, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me, for sure. It's like, well, technically, we want to add more weapons, but
if we did, then the monk wouldn't be able to use them.
Yeah, for sure. Because they listed it very specifically. Monks only get these, and they can never go back and change that because that book's been printed already.
That has been ink to paper, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, I don't think this is going to change the way that I play a monk on my like moment-to-moment activity, like the fighter did for fighters, but a couple of useful benefits. Yeah, great. All right, well, that wraps up the episode for us, listeners. Thanks for listening. Let us know what you think is going on with this monk class. Tell us about your broken, overpowered blowgun builds that you've made.
Yeah, and honestly, please explain why.
Please.
I don't understand why it's worded like this. It doesn't make any sense.
In detail, explain to me how it works, because I don't know. And next up, we're going to be talking about the changes to the Paladin class, so stick around for that. Give us a like and subscribe if you want to, I don't know, do that. If you want to do that, then do it. I don't tell you to live your life. You do whatever you want. Okay, great. Thanks for listening. Bye. Keep on adventuring.
Bye.